What is up, people? Hello, and welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the Cup Chasers podcast. It's been a couple of weeks. We took a break for Thanksgiving. I hope your turkey day was absolutely phenomenal. I know mine was. It's been a good couple of weeks in the Premier League as well. It's been a pretty good day today. Pretty crazy couple of days overall. Of course, Man City, the 5-4 at Fulham, absolutely crazy scenes, letting the 4-goal lead nearly slip away. We'll definitely be touching in on that. Arsenal flying high at the top, and Chelsea's 3-day title charge already gone. No, I'm sorry. I had to get that one in. I'm sorry. But before we get to it, let's go ahead and hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. Of course, thanks for being here. Hype it up and let us know what you think in the comments below. Of course, Nez is in the building. What's up, man? How you feeling?
I mean, in regular life, I'm fine. Even though it's a little cold where I am, but other than that, I'm loving life. I'm busy and doing life and stuff. I even had I just got an email. I was featured in a little article for the stuff I do for regular life work. I was like, oh, okay, because I had a little interview. I was like, I guess I articulate myself sometimes, so that was cool. But other than that, always a pleasure to be here, man. Being on the Cup Chasers, because we're going from A to Z, and it's good to talk football, man. It's funny enough, I was talking sports for something else recently, and I was like, you know what, I'm looking forward to the soccer pod. I keep all my soccer just for here.
Nice. Well, let's dive right into it. You mentioned something to me when I asked you about complacency with Man City, because you've gone up 2-0 at Leeds, blown the lead, and Philly Foden, who is playing fantastic recently, by the way, bails you out. And then, of course, we see the 5-4 at Fulham. Talk to me.
Well, here's the funny thing. Because that game, I think that game was on while I was at work, so I only got to kind of catch a couple. I saw Haaland's goal because I had a feeling he was going to get one. They were dangerous early. And Doku has been amazing.
Yeah. Hey, by the way,
yes, 100, man. That's
ever. Well played.
And then he had an assist on I think it was the second or third one.
Mm-hmm.
But and I got to see those, and I said when Reinders scored, I'm like, hey, he needed that goal super bad because he just runs around the field smiling. And I think he is a nice guy, but I mean, I need you to smile because you scored. You know what I'm saying?
Does he look like a pirate? He looks a little bit like a pirate with the mustache.
If you said he was in the movies Pirates of the Caribbean, I would believe you. I believe you.
Is it the olive skin? Is it because he's been in Italy a while, maybe?
And it's the hair. His hair is kind of wispy too. So I think it's just a combination of that. I could see him on Jack Sparrow's crew.
There you go.
Shout out, hey, Disney. You can. Well, I don't know. How do I feel about Disney? I don't know. I'll leave Disney alone on that one. So
we'll keep going.
Yeah. So I saw that, and then I couldn't really pay attention, but then I saw I think it was either 3-1 or 3-0 at some point, and then they went up
3-1 at halftime.
Right. And I mean, and the goal there, it was the goal. It was a good goal. That was a very good goal. That was the one from it's the guy who played for you guys, right?
Emmy. Yeah.
It was
Emmy Smith Rowe.
And Smith Rowe, that was a beautiful header. Beautiful ball.
He could have scored 2 other times in the first half.
Well, I didn't see all of it, but they showed the highlights because I was able to catch that. But the header, beautiful.
He was playing well for sure.
And so credit to him. And then I was in and out, and I saw it was 5-1. And then I didn't watch because I was at work. And so I finished work, and all I saw was I flipped on and I heard Savinho, and I was like this is I'm not lying. This is what I did. And I personally don't know Savinho, so I wish him well in life and his family and his finances and his spirit and everything. But as a football player, I need you to be the 50th man down, because I don't understand what that's about. Now, I'm not blaming him for the loss, right? Because that's a team thing. Losses are on teams.
It's not even a loss.
And
it feels like one, though. That's the point.
You know what I mean?
The point. That's the point. It feels like it, doesn't it?
You know what I mean? So it's
funny. A 4-goal lead.
Because I was able to watch, and I saw when they scored the third and the fourth, right? And
Crazy.
that the new guy who came on, dynamic. I don't know what his name is. They said he was a young guy. He was hungry.
Yep. Chikwueze is his name.
Yeah, but he was impressive. But again, uh, it made me more salty because he was a young talent that they're like, yeah, young prospect talent. I'm like, City got a young prospect talent on that's been able to ride the young prospect talent thing for 3 seasons. And when he gets the ball, he slips or he falls or he runs backwards. And the funny thing is, Savinho had a chance going forward, played the ball, and then he lost his feet and didn't even shoot it on the goal. You saw what I'm talking about. And so, because that would have made the thing 6-3. And there would have been a confidence there, but then they looked completely shaky. Stones didn't look good, and I love Stones. Stones didn't look good. He didn't play where he was supposed to. They took Nico off, and so it's literally, and you asked me about that before, but I don't know, we'll cover it. Nico was on there. He is our Rodri replacement. He's not Rodri, but he's a replacement. He's solid there. As soon as Nico and Doku left the game, City didn't know how to play football no more. I just don't even understand. And so the simple thing is, okay, if you don't defend, I got it. If you do not defend, guess what you need to do the whole time? Attack the entire, just keep scoring, because clearly they could do that. So just keep scoring. And so if hey man, if we was going to make it a basketball game, make it a basketball game, but don't sit back and then forget how to keep possession, because then they couldn't keep the ball. And I heard the commentator say, oh, well, this is where Bernardo Silva kind of steps in. Now, again, I didn't watch the whole game, but he started, and this was like in the 80th minute. And I'm like, well, what do you mean this is where Bernardo comes in? Because Bernardo was on the field when they scored 4 goals. So what are he supposed to do? And I'm saying posed it on purpose because that's frustration. But what is he supposed to do? Because he didn't do what he was supposed to do, so he's useless. And then the fact that they put Savinho on before, and instead of Shirky or Aït-Nouri or Marmoush, I'm trying to figure out why he keeps getting on first. Now, I mean, we have the thing in there, and clearly there's something in his contract. There's no way that people with human eyes and standard basic IQ about football, I don't know about their regular knowledge, but standard football IQ about football is watching the performances from this guy and says, yes, he should be the first sub on before any other attacking player. Tell me I'm crazy.
Maybe that's the clause in the contract, is he always has to be the first one on the field if he doesn't start. The first sub on.
And if that's what the sporting director negotiated, he is the worst sporting director ever.
Well, you didn't want a new contract anyway.
I did not.
Yeah.
In addition, not wanting that, and every City fan, well, not many of the City fans, because it's an echo chamber, but the echo chamber is saying Spurs were going to give us $75 million for him.
Wow. Yeah.
And the new rumor in the echo chamber is Spurs still want to give us 50. You know what? We'll take him for 30 and give you some extra players. Get that man off the team. Get him off the team.
Spurs are desperate right now. Sergio Romero had to have the brace of his life yesterday just to drag them out of the mud. Like, they're desperate for attackers. So take that money.
Take them.
Take that money.
Take them.
Yeah.
And so I look at that and I say, okay, now I know I said it in the chat, so it's one of two issues, right? Either Pep has completely lost his mind, because I mean, there's no way that contract has more power over Pep Guardiola's brain, his footballing brain. Like, there's no way. I know I don't know as much as Pep, but I know as a former high school coach and a former D2 B team coach, I know I'm not putting that player on every single game before other people. Because one, let's just go with the simple thing. Team dynamic. One, he's not playing good, so your other players who are good are literally looking at you like, that's what they're looking at you like. And second, because there's literally a transfer window around the corner, and there's already rumblings about what's happening. You think guys don't want to leave? You was complaining about the team size being too big. Now nobody want to be on there. Now, this is the second thing I said, which, we can, and I don't think you disagreed with it, but my point was, City players have this confidence because they're at City. So Pep Guardiola is managing me. I'm coming to City, so I must be a top-tier world player. And so if anything happens, because it's City, we'll just will it out. Okay, gentlemen.
I only made the point that half of them only deserve
Yeah.
that.
And the funny thing is, half of those
Like,
are
have
old and
earned it.
can't do it anyways. And they can't do it anyways because if we recall last season, early in the season, Bernardo was talking crazy where he's like, yeah, man, we'll be fine. And then we was trash. So they don't even get to say it. The team can't hold the ball. City was built on holding the football. They're not handling pressure the same way, and they can't hold the ball. And if all those things don't matter, if we go back to the original criticism that Pep people gave about Pep when he had a press conferences, he said he doesn't teach tackling, right? If you don't teach tackling, then you got to hold the ball. And if you're not holding the ball, then clearly they don't know what they're doing, and they don't defend. And so now your biggest issue is, okay, I don't teach tackling, but we can't possess the ball anymore. And because if you possess the ball, you don't get countered. And so you got guys who are living off of City clout. And is it real clout? Yes, it's real clout. But the thing about it is, footballing specifically in the Premier League is so dynamic that anybody can be up there.
Look at Sunderland.
And there's teams who are up at the top that are at the bottom of the table now from 3 weeks ago. So we have to make sure we recognize that these people are riding on History FC vibes. And you know how I feel about that. And if you're riding off History FC vibes, you got to get on with that. There's few people who I see riding on, like Foden obviously is not on it. Doku's not on it. Holland's not on it. But
Foden's up to levels.
Who's on it? Ruben Diaz is one of the guys that's on it. You notice I didn't complain about him, but early in the season, he's doing the exact same things. He's already slow. And then if Nico's on the field, not on the field, you don't got nobody to protect him. So then he's just an average guy. Gvardiol is a very good player, but because
he's been decent. Gvardiol's been good.
But he spent the whole season going back and forth like this, right? Last season. So he wants to go forward. He has an attack mind. But now what's happening? He's getting caught out of position because he's trying to. You can't do that as a center half. Yeah. So then there's that. And then so you got Nico O'Reilly. He's fine, but again, he's not a defender. And you got Nunez, who is also not a defender. He's decent, but all these guys are going forward guys, right? And they got pace to be in the way, but you're not defenders. And so then you put Savinho on, who produces nothing, because at least if you have a guy on the wing who can produce something going forward where I can attack or something, then okay, there's the dynamism of they go in, you can come out wide, they can ping it back to you, or they can go out wide, you can come in. You can create that. He doesn't create any of that. When Doku's on the field, they got three guys. When Savinho's on there, there's no the games. Watch the games. No one's ever marking over there, ever.
Well, they know he's not going to do anything. But what baffles me the most about it is it's not like Pep doesn't have other options. Oscar Bob is now healthy, right? But my biggest one is back in the summer, back in January when people were begging Arsenal to go for Gyökeres in January. Get Gyökeres. There was all these things about who's available and who would you go get. And my number one answer was Gyökeres, but my number two answer the whole time, Marmoush. So why is Marmoush not in the pecking order ahead of Savinho? That seems clear to me. I don't know.
Play the wing and he scored goals. So it's almost like here's my thing, and this is why.
I thought he played wing in the Bundesliga.
He played wing. He played everywhere up front in the Bundesliga. He could play the entire front four. Here's my thing that's going to happen because, and you mentioned this a couple podcasts ago, it's a World Cup year. Mm-hmm. Now, yes, is he going to get picked for Egypt? Absolutely. But here's the problem. He ain't going to be in form. What are we doing? What are we doing? Like, because I think I made it. I think Patrick said something about it when he was on last time because I made a mention about Bob and somebody was like, he's going to play. Not if he's not in form. Like, right. Why are we assuming and see that? But that's the mentality I'm talking about. That's the, I play for this team, so what? No, that's not how it works. Trafford wanting to go. Hey, I get it if that's true because the guy was literally in the England team and now he don't play.
Yeah,
and
it's what's happening to Miles Lewis Skelly.
And Gigi,
fault of his own.
Yeah, and Gigi is like he's a good keeper and he had some good shot stopping, but we literally lose the dynamic of the team when he's back there because he can't distribute. Like his distribution is mediocre at best. And as a City fan, because I remember this happening because Joe Hart is a City supporters' favorite. And when Pep came in, Joe Hart is basically the same guy. Now, Joe Hart was weak going to his left, but he's a shot stopper. That's what Joe Hart was.
Yeah.
And that's what you get from Gigi. And he can't distribute, and neither can Joe. And so you're looking and you're like, this is the guy that we got rid of the guy so he can just have control, which I'm fine. And he did what he needed to do. But now at this point in his career, what are we doing? And so then I didn't know, because again, I've been busy. Pep had a 2-minute press conference before the game, which I don't know what happened. I don't really care. And this is the result we get. There's something mentally missing. And hey, man, that 5 points is a big 5 points, because these guys are not here. And there's guys who think they belong there and that, we'll hunt them down. That's not how it works, man. You still got to go win games. You got to win those 1-0s. And Fulham had every reason to believe they could not only tie the game, but win it. They had every right to believe that. And it was bad.
It took a goal line clearance to salvage the win. Yeah.
And we look at that and we say, and they make the jokes. I need to know, and I've heard a joke that said, I want to be a fly on the wall. But then the comedian said, well, so you want to be an annoying pest in the room that nobody wants there? I was like, that's true. I don't want to be a fly on the wall. I want to be in the room, and I want to hear the conversations, because there's no way. There's no way that the other players are like, yeah, Pep, that's cool. You keep putting Savinho out there. There's no way anyone's saying that. I just can't believe it. I'm not even talking about the manager. I'm talking about the other players. There's no way that Marmoush is like, yeah, man, he should be playing in front of me. There's no way he's saying that. There's no way Oscar Bob is saying that. There's no way Cherky, who's literally come on the field every time and created a big chance every time he's been on the field. Watch Savinho go on the field before him.
I like Cherky a lot. I do.
There's no way and Cherky can play everywhere across the front.
He's a good player.
And Savinho's still going on? What?
I don't get it either, man. Maybe he's trying to get he's got the total appearance clause in the contract. Maybe he's just trying to get it out of the way. He's just getting them all these appearances early.
Well, it's funny because if we recall last year, there was a stupid thing that was when they didn't play Kusanov. And then we found out that Kusanov had a games played clause where if he played 13 games, they had to play extra.
Yeah.
Who is negotiating
these deals? Yeah.
And why are you signing these things? Because Kusanov, for example, so you don't put Kusanov in the game. So they just running past you. And Kusanov, who's literally a wrecking ball and has pace and everything, you don't stick him in the game at no point. Before you got Savinho, you're getting scored on, and your answer is leave Savinho on and don't put a defender on who could stop it.
And they put Kevin on that other side. Their record signing the guy, and he was on, and he came in on smoke for sure. But Savinho definitely, of all the things that Savinho is bad at, he also doesn't play defense. He's not really helping out Nunez. He's not really helping out Nunez either,
anywhere.
Yeah, that was an absolutely, and it looks like complacency just because you go up in both the last two games. And then what's kind of odd about it is, you know what? I know what it is because I did watch both of the 90s. What it is that you were vulnerable the whole time.
The whole time. It wasn't like they weren't getting no chance.
It wasn't like was just you were just scoring like every time you went forward.
Yeah.
But
they were getting chances.
Smith Rowe could have had maybe at least one goal before he scored. He had a couple of good chances. So it was, it was just y'all were more clinical. It was Foden, it was Haaland,
And the thing about that is again, the old team finishes all of those chances, and you don't get to any of those chances.
And then you never see the ball again.
And so the point is, okay, you're just not holding the ball. So it's not so that arrogance of, we'll be fine, but you're not doing what the other team did. Like, and the thing about it is, it's not that they lack the skill set. They have the skill set. They're lacking the IQ and discipline to do it. And they're getting out athleted. Like, here's the thing that people are missing. Fulham at no point felt they were out the game. This is professional sports. There's no professional that, especially in the cold in England, that's just turning off.
Right.
Why would I turn off? So you're going to play. And so if you're the intimidation factor is not there for sure. And so that's not going to help. And here's the thing, because when City was going through their runs where they were running over people, you and I had these conversations. People still was coming at us. It wasn't like they weren't coming at you. You could hold the ball. They don't do any of that.
Yeah.
And that's a huge issue. And so I don't know the answer, because if the manager continues to have the team play like that, because this is coming from training, because there's no way that you're doing this and this is not happening on the training pitch.
Right.
You see it. Because what you do in training shows up in the game.
Mm-hmm.
And so whatever's happening in training is happening there. And that's your issue. So, hey, man, that 5 points is a giant 5 points. Giant 5 points. Because the thing about it is I stand on that. I don't worry about other teams. I'm worried about the team that's playing. You need to worry about, because Sunderland is the next one, and then it's Madrid. And I'm going to go ahead and put this out there. They'll probably get past Sunderland. I don't know how close it'll be. They'll probably get past it. But Madrid saw what happened. And again, they've been squeaking by, so I give them the resolve on that. But when it's Madrid in Madrid,
Ooh.
You think Madrid don't want to punch you in the face?
Yeah, they got one ready for you, for sure.
So do you need that embarrassment to really wake people up? Because I don't get it. I don't, because there's no way if Madrid can hang 10 on us, they're going to try to hang 10.
I mean, Mbappe put 4 on somebody by himself the other day.
You think they're not going to do that? Like, come on, man. What are we talking about?
Mbappe versus Nunez is going to be a bloodbath.
And then here's the thing that matters. Because in the Champions League, this super matters. Because that last game in the Champions League, blown points, you got to win. That
might be big.
You got to win at least 2.
That might bite you in the ass, because if you look at Arsenal, I desperately, and we'll get to this, I desperately wanted to see Declan Rice rested, but I also knew that Brentford was a really important game and Villa's a really important game. Because we beat Bayern, Brugge is a complete dead rubber. Nothing.
Yep.
Doesn't matter. It took 16 points to get top 8. Last season in the Champions League, we're on 15, and we play Kairat on the last day. So in the next 3 games, there's no way we don't get 1 point. And so conversely, not beating Leverkusen puts so much pressure on the Madrid game. Now you kind of have to show up. And Saturday, you host Sunderland.
Yeah,
which
that's not a walk.
That is going to be. Even if you win, you're going to work for it. They are going to make you work for it, and you're going to leave with bruises. It's not going to be fun, no matter what. Just ask Liverpool today.
Which makes that Madrid game stand out even more, because that's why I'm saying they could hang 10 on you. What was that? There's no way anyone watched that game and said, And here's the part that is disheartening. Phil played well. Holland. So your stars did what stars were supposed to do.
Well, let me ask you this. He put Stones on. You mentioned bringing Nico Gonzalez off and putting Stones on. I thought Stones was just going to like for like, because we've seen Stones play the center defensive midfield role. But it was like a back 5 again.
Which, again, that's on the manager.
In front of him. That's what manager. What was Pep doing? It's odd from Pep to do that. And he did that against Arsenal as well.
And I could understand if at that point you're up 5-1 and you just leave a giant gap in the midfield. What?
I think they had scored the second one when he did that.
But either way, you got a 3-goal lead. What are you doing? So you still leave a gap there, right?
Yeah.
And then so guys literally looked like they didn't know where they were supposed to go or who they were supposed to cover. And I think some commentator made that. No, it was on socials. Somebody was like, "Hey man, what is Ruben Diaz doing? All he does is just yell." Because that's all he do. He just what are we going to defend?
So the hole's there right in front of the defense, and I was talking to you before we went live about Rodri coming back. Now, A, will he fill that hole?
No.
And B, is he ever going to be the Rodri that all of the City fans who are saying, "Oh, when Rodri's back, oh, just wait till Rodri's back." They seem to have this notion that Rodri's just going to come back and be everything he used to be. I mean, can you kind of, where do you think he's going to even has the capability to get to? Because he's not, I don't think he's seeing Ballon d'Or levels again.
No. Now, here's the thing. I'm saying this just off of like what we've seen, naked eye test. He could be in the gym doing it all, and I'm hoping he comes back to that. But if I'm being pragmatic and seeing what I'm seeing, he is who he is, right? He's going to be what he is. Now, you just said it because I know I said no before, and I'm still saying no, but here's what I'm hearing because you're asking, well, what can he be? And if I'm being honest, if Rodri says, I'm not going to be Rodri anymore, I'm not going to be who I was, Nico is now that guy. And Rodri plays the 8, and now he's moving back and forth, and he doesn't have that same defensive responsibility, and he becomes Gundo or Kevin. I can see that. Because then we're not asking him to do the same things. Because it's the body thing. Because the thing is, Gundo and Kevin both experience injuries in their legs, just like that, where they were able to, like, they could float. If Rodri can become that, then City can be fine. Because here's the thing that, I mean, and I think I've said this before, but here's the thing that I think matters as well. Rodri was able to become Rodri because, one, he learned from Fernandinho. But then when Rodri was there, Kevin and Silva was in front of him. So even though they weren't necessarily protecting him, they were protecting him. Because these are guys you weren't taking the ball off of. And these are the guys who made key passes to move the team around. So if these guys are breaking lines, then you get a break, you get a breather. And so if you can come in, you're making those late runs, right? But if Rodri can't do that anymore because he can't play deep like that, if Nico can be that guy and replace him, be what Rodri was to Fernandinho, then if Nico can be that and Rodri can float as your 8, then you can play first. And I'm glad you said this to me because I wasn't thinking about it first time. But now, first, here's the first movement you can make to make a change. One, you can take Bernardo Silva off because now you don't have to play him anymore. Bernardo can spell him instead of Bernardo spelling other guys.
Right.
So if Bernardo's spelling him to come in late, I'm with that. That's fine because Bernardo's the engine, so he can do that. So if Rodri is starting with Nico, and now you can say, okay, you can play Phil and Cherky and Doku, and that's your front 3 with Haaland in front because you already know those guys are going to interchange with Phil and Cherky. And
I was going to say, whoever's right in front of Rodri and Nico is going to be so free. There's so much freedom.
And then Doku will be on the wing pulling everybody out wide. If you do that, because clearly Cherky can play out wide, Phil can play out wide, and they interchange anyways. And now you have 2 wings who can come through the middle. And if you have 2 wings who can come through the middle, and then if we actually, I mean, Nico O'Reilly's fine. So if Nico O'Reilly plays really well with Doku on the left, so that's fine. And then we need a right back. I'm just going to be honest about that. I mean, Nunez is fine. We need a right back.
Can Kusanov get there to the level? Can he get there?
If he plays. Because you know that's my guy. Yeah. If he plays.
I mean, he's there.
Because then what that does is, and here's the thing. Diaz is great organizing, but when stuff starts getting loose, he's not that guy anymore. He's living off the stuff of the past. So what
Nunez ain't that guy either, man. That horror show versus Leeds, bro.
Yes.
What was that?
It was awful.
Where I don't know, what was he even doing? Like, what did he lose his head and think, hey, it's practice and we don't have to.
He's not a defender. He thinks athleticism gets him.
Lewin tap one in. That was crazy.
But see, this is where if Kusanov plays your right back, you can play Diaz because now you got 2 wrecking guys. So he'll because we've watched Kusanov cover that. So he does that. You play Gvardiol as your left-footed one, and then you're fine back there because then you have the pairing that needs to be there. Diaz can do what he needs to do. Gives Gvardiol to go back and forth like he likes to do because Kusanov doesn't go forward. And so you got the solid guy in Diaz, and then you got Kusanov to cover. He's your Kyle Walker, right? That's the lineup. That's your lineup. And even then, I realistically believe if Cherky's not there, you play Marmoush because Marmoush has to play. If he doesn't play, then why do you have a second striker that never play? Because and here's the thing that's important, and it's actually validating Julian Alvarez's reasoning for leaving. Because Julian Alvarez is literally the same thing Marmoush was, and he wasn't playing. And yes, you're not moving Haaland. If Haaland's healthy, he's playing, and there's every reason to do that, so that's fine. But he's better than every wing, with the exception of Phil Foden.
Yeah,
he's better than everybody else up front. Why is he not playing in the game? And Doku is in such good form. Then you're like, okay, I have to play Doku, which is fine. So that leaves one spot. And that's like 4 guys going for the one spot.
Yeah.
And you need a goal.
Why have we just not seen Marmoush at all is the question. It's like weird.
He puts him on in the 80th minute. What is he supposed to do?
Yeah, that's weird.
And the thing about it is, here's the thing that makes it crazier too. Because, okay, that begs the question. So you're up 5-1. Why is Haaland still playing? Why is he still playing? Is that a contract thing too? Because it's a midweek game. Why does he? You're up 5. Just standard layman's logic. You're up 5-1 in the beginning of the second half of the game. This early second half. Why is Haaland still playing the game? Why is Foden still playing the game? And you got a game Saturday. What are we doing? So again, it begs the question. Got to be something there, because I don't have a reason to keep Haaland on, because he wasn't trying to score like a hat trick or anything, and he wasn't going to push him to score 6, 7, 9, 8. Yeah. Right? So why did Haaland stay on? So Marmoush could have easily taken off, come on for Haaland, because Haaland didn't score anymore. And then Foden, if you're going to put Savinho on, sure, he could have came in on for him. So why did they stay on the field? Like, none of it made sense. None of it made sense. And so, but because then if you're worried about like whatever, because again, how was Haaland? I just, none of it makes sense. I think Pep is a fantastic football mind. He's a one of one generationally, but right now I don't know what it is, and if it's ego or whatever. I'm never going to pretend I'm smarter than him, but I have a right as a human to question what's going on. Because it doesn't matter how smart you are, you're a human and you make mistakes. And we're watching him continue to make mistakes. Last season, and you remember I talked about this, last season he didn't have no answers. And I said he didn't have no answers, and he didn't have any. He had 0 answers. Yeah. And he was like, well, we'll figure it out. Because he, too, was arrogant about, we'll just figure it out. And this is why when I made the point about the History FC guys. When Paul Pogba went to United, I'll be me. You're not going to be you there. No one is giving you a pass. This is a pro sports league. No one's going to just let you do what you want. And then that's where you brought up Ozil. Because, it's just, hey, these guys think they can just walk on it. You are playing against professional athletes who are hungry. Right. What are you talking about? No one's going to lay down for you. Arsenal is in great form. Nobody's laying down for you. No one.
Yeah, we don't have a God-given right to win every game just because we're playing well. We played, and the perfect example of this is you're going to get a firsthand taste of it on Saturday. Perfect example, because whatever you might think of Sunderland, literally every single game, they're coming for you.
Sunderland's in 6, man.
They went down 2-0 to Bournemouth last weekend at the weekend. 20 minutes in at home, 1-3-2. 1-3-2. They were ahead at Anfield. They should have won. The goalkeeper put the Igor Thiago in, or Igor Jesus, or whoever, their forward in. Well, I can't remember who it was. Sunderland's forward. Anyway, they put him in like the 90th minute on a breakaway, and Chiesa's tracked him all the way back. He tries to round Allison. Sunderland should have beat them. So your point about it's not, every single game, every single moment, every single 50-50 ball, like the other guy's there. The other guy is there. The other team is there. They're coming for it. It doesn't matter. Like, look at this league right now. At one point today, Brighton were in 3rd place.
Dude, Brentford is 13th, and remember they were 2nd.
Yeah, and then Villa turned it around, and now Villa are 3rd place.
Like, what are we doing?
You know what I mean? So it's so tight in there, and that's why, like, even though I'm 5 points clear and I'm loving life, there's no let up. Like, Saturday we are at Villa Park. That is going to be crazy.
Ooh.
That's going to be so tough. That's going to be such a tough game. They're unbeaten in like 9 or 10 games. They
in the league. You mean in the league, right?
In the league, right? Yeah. And look at this. They didn't score in the first 5 games of the season. They didn't score. 3rd place. So there's nothing's given. You have to fight for every single inch, and it seems weird to think that Pep is like just nah. That doesn't really apply to us.
But look, there's no way anyone with eyes and any football sense is looking at this and saying this is not on the manager, because this is 1,000% on the manager. This is on them. I don't care how good you are. For example, Alex Ferguson was a fantastic, historic manager. We watched seasons where he made bad decisions, man. Yeah. Arsene Wenger, all-timer. I know you have plenty of things where you're like, man, what are you doing? Especially in the late stages of his career.
Yeah.
You're like, what are you doing, dude? We don't care how legacy don't win you games, man.
No.
Especially it doesn't win you games.
Tarnishing it with every lineup you put out. Yeah. No, never mind. We'll leave that in the past.
I wish, there's a thing, but I mean, I don't have the answer. I'm a supporter of the team. I wish the team to do well. I don't dislike Savinho as a person, but I need to see him play less time or not be the first sub off the bench anymore. He can be like the 5th one. We got 5 subs. He can be 5th.
After you're winning 3-0, 4-0?
I don't even care what our score is. He can be 5th.
Sure.
Because, I mean, he can be 5th. I'm not even saying he can't sub on. He just can't be the 1st, 2nd, or 3rd one.
So with all of my respect for Sunderland, what are you expecting on Saturday?
I don't know, man. I think, and I'm not changing what I said earlier. I think they get the win because that was a wake-up call. But I think they're going to have to fight for it.
Yeah.
But and they have to be careful and being 1,000% honest about this, because this is a trap game for this reason. Because I mentioned it already, Madrid's next, and so you're gonna have some guys with an eye on that one.
Yeah, this is not a game to not have your eye on. Sunderland have proven they deserve respect. They deserve it,
and
for sure.
I mean, I would hope they have an eye on it because, again, and because I never wish bad on you guys. You know how I feel about it. You my guy, but I mean, a draw or a loss for you guys puts us 2 points behind you if we win.
Puts you right there.
So why would this game not matter? So if anybody, again, this is here.
Yeah, we're playing Villa. We have a really tough game. That's what I'm
talking about. Because even then, if City lose the game, Villa's 1 point behind City. What are we doing? Yeah. This is a giant game.
Yeah,
like massive. It's literally the top 5, the top 6 playing each other. Come on now. So I hope. I don't know, man. I mean, if it's me, I'm playing Kusanov, and the reason I'm playing Kusanov is because I need him to get game time before he plays against Vinny. Because there's no way you're sticking Vinny against him. Against
Nunez. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. I knew exactly what you were saying. Yeah.
There's no way you're doing that. Because if you do,
it's going to be a field day. He's going to have a field day is what they'll call it. I remember those back in school. They were fantastic. You just ran all over the place. That's what he's going to do. He's just going to run all over the place.
Yes. This God. Yeah. And the funny thing is the game before that one, if you remember, everybody's like, oh, well, Pep made the 10 changes because he's trying to prove stuff. And we proved it. Like Savinho proved he don't belong on the field right now. Yeah. Maybe later. Again, see, I'm not even an eternalist in that way where, hey, you make a mistake, you're out forever. Let these other guys play, man. You're not even giving these other guys a chance to get in with the other team because you're coming in and you're destroying the momentum, the movement. You produce nothing. The other team don't even defend you, man.
Yeah.
And so there was a picture of like Pep, doing his talk to him. I don't care. If you keep putting him in the game, I don't care what you're saying at the end of the game to him. I don't care.
Yeah, well, he definitely needs to pick it up. I hope he does for your sake, and I hope Pep. Well, I'm not gonna be too disingenuous. I don't really hope Pep figures it out.
No.
I hope to see it continue, and I'm definitely going to be.
Even though we're winning, which is funny because we're winning, but we're complaining because that was real. Like somebody said, sometimes wins feel like losses. That was one of them.
Well, when I'm gonna be real. I'll be real honest, and this is not even like a arrogance or complacency kind of thing on my part, but it's just like when I look at when I looked at both those results, it just there like you said it earlier, and there was nothing about it that like scared me or
Nope.
it's like, oh, this city is because I remember what my emotions were during the game when I watched the Fulham game. I was like, oh shoot, this city it has shown up today. This city might be, and then within the next 5 to 10 minutes, I was like, nope, no, never mind. No,
There's no consistency,
they're not
man.
back. City, this is not the city that I for 5 minutes there. I was like, they're not back.
There's zero consistency in the form and the play of the team. I just don't get it.
Yeah, and I hope I hope that can be consistent. That's what I hope.
I'm sure you do.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, man. Speaking of consistency, the Arsenal with another cruise to victory at home to Brentford. Maybe that's a little bit disingenuous. It wasn't the most comfortable of wins. It certainly wasn't the most vintage of performances from the Arsenal today. But we came out the blocks flying and got our goal. Mikel Merino, man, like
he's been worth it, man. He's been a good move for you guys.
I mean, it was one of those ones where when it came in, it was another. Okay, Arteta, you're shoehorning. You're trying to mix and match. You're trying to this guy. Oh, he played this at Sociedad, but we're gonna make him do this, and it was Kai Havertz all over again. And I was like, this guy, what have we done? But we've finally built this squad, and we're still getting injuries like somebody's literally lining us up and shooting us. Mosquera goes down. Another center back. Mosquera's gone down again today. I haven't actually checked to see if it was super serious or anything. He went off with a calf thing at the end too. It didn't look too serious. So that's what I'm saying. It's just like bam, 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 one after the other. And Merino has stepped up in the absence of an out-and-out striker and been absolutely phenomenal. He's one of those guys where it's one of those signings where you're like, whatever, but he's become a fan favorite. He's become not just because he's got goals and an assist, got a very lovely pass to Saka today, in him, but it's like he also works for the team. He also puts it on the line. He's also, and he's like a really big dude too, not for nothing, but he's like a Olivier Giroud type bruiser, huge, and no, I'm not going to sit here and say he's got the silky smooth touch that old GQ had, but he definitely has, some technique, some good technical ability about him. And when you ask him to do a job, he comes in and does it. And, what else can you say? That's, what you want from a guys that you don't expect, that you might say are squad players. But, the way he's going right now, you start him Saturday. He's got to start. He's got to start.
You think Saliba starts Saturday? Because, it looks like he's back.
Yeah. Saliba, it was a minor one. So I'm hoping he'll be back for Villa. We definitely need him, especially if Mosquera's gone down. Good grief. But speaking of that, there was this whole, James or Timber debate going on last week, and then, James proved he's the best footballer there's ever been, ever. He's the best in the world. No. Reece James was amazing. I'm not going to take that from him. But, but let's put some respect on Timber's name because he comes in. He was supposed to get a rest. He was supposed to have the day off, chilling. But Mosquera goes down because we're cursed or something. Who knows? And Timber comes in and has a magnificent performance in the center back. It just goes to show you why Arteta bought 6 center backs. We literally have seven center backs, and then Lewis Skelly is our only, and he's a center midfielder, really. So we don't actually have any out and out like recognized fullbacks. But that's because
very much like City. I got you.
It worked out because Timber came in and was immense. He
can play anywhere across the back. Yeah.
Yeah. He was winning aerial duels. He was winning second balls. One time, because I'm so intent on, especially because I think that the easiest way, the really only way to beat Arsenal is to win way more second balls than us. And Chelsea were doing a good job of that. They just were horrible going forward. But Brentford did not win a single second ball in that first half. Not one. Not one at all. They didn't offer a thing. The possession was like 70-30. You know, it was one of those days where you like where City used to, where it's just like it was an 87% possession over the whole game. It's like a training session. You know, that's kind of what that first half was. We just were not very clinical going forward for another game. See, that is a little bit worrying, you know, but in both games, Mikel Merino has stepped up and, you know, and done his part and pulled us through on the score sheet at least. And I think that, you know, Timber at one point, he won the aerial duel and then won the second ball as well. And I was like, oh my God. I was like, this guy. So I definitely wanted to shout him out for the performance today. I definitely thought he was decent versus Chelsea as well. But that game was nuts. And I know if you've been paying attention on this channel, I've said plenty about it. There's a match reaction. Go check that one out. But, you know, after that game and how tough and how, you know, draining that was, I figured this game might maybe be a little bit lackluster. You know, I was grateful, though, that he decided to rest some players. I was a little bit surprised at who he rested because Eze didn't start, Saka didn't start, and Timber didn't start, right? I was a little bit surprised at all of those, honestly. But he seems reluctant to rest Rice. And I understand.
Well, it seemed like he might have to do it now.
Yeah, I haven't looked at it. I really hope that's
it says, hold on, let me see what it says. Because I see the injury, but hold on just a second. I'm trying to see what
it was like the 90th minute or whatever.
Yeah, it was at the end.
It was at the end, so I didn't know if I didn't see it.
Yeah, it's not giving any details. Trying to see.
Yeah. I think they're blowing Rice's out of proportion. Because when it looked like he was pointing at his calf, but it wasn't like he was like stretching it or I need to, you know, it seemed like it might be a contact kind of thing. You know, so until, you know, I'm not really worried about that one until we hear more about it. You know, obviously I got my fingers crossed that he's going to be fine for Villa because we're absolutely going to need him, you know, but I think at the moment, man, our consistency is not only in the results because, you know, at this point we're 18 unbeaten, haven't lost since Anfield. It's the only loss of the season. So that's, you know, consistency by definition, you know, but it's also the fact that no matter who's out there, no matter who starts, no matter who's playing, it's the same philosophy is there. The same kind of mentality is there as well. There's, you know, a desire to get the ball forward, a desire, you know, an urgency to recover the ball when it's lost, you know, which is something that, you know, was always, you know, a key part of the best teams, in my opinion, I think, because, you know, when you defend from the front and, you know, one thing a lot of teams, like take Man United, for example, their fans have accused that team of not being able to find an identity. You know, Tottenham right now have no identity, no real, like, when you look at the team, you know what they're trying to do week in, week out, week in, week out. You know what I mean? If you look at Arsenal, I can tell you exactly what we're going to try to do every single game, and I can identify it every single game. For example, easy example, and I've been going on about this for 3.5 years now. Arsenal's press is designed very simply to either make your worst defender play it long or your goalkeeper play it long. And it's very evident in the way, take Robert Sanchez, for example, and Trevor Chalobah. We didn't press them very much. We blanketed everybody else, so he can't get a pass off to anyone else. But see, this is very identifiable. We did the same to Kelleher today versus Brentford. Exact same thing. You know, And so you need this kind of consistency. And I think we finally found not only a consistency in the way we defend, but also in the way we go forward, in the way, and it's there to see when, take for example, Medweke's come in today, and his game was very interesting because he started out on fire, on absolute smoke. He was taking on his guy. He beat two dudes at once and got a shot off. He was dribbling his man. And I will shout out Patrick and Xavier on this one because they warned us. We haven't really thought about it because he's missed 11 games. Medweke's been out for a while, so we haven't really thought about it. But they did warn us that he will give a little jinky McJinky, as they say, beat a man, and then rip one into the side net or scare the corner flag or have a poor pass. And there was a little bit of that going on. But I think he's definitely got the confidence. It was weird to see, though, when he came out for the second half, it's like he maybe knew he was going to be coming off, and his performance, he leapt off a cliff at the beginning of the second half. I will say, though, credit Brentford. They were winning more of the duels, winning more of the second balls, and were putting us under a little bit in the first 15 of that second half. But it's really, really, really good to see Martin Odegaard back.
Yeah. Just to get some consistency in his play.
Absolutely. Well, I feel like he noticed that we were under it a little bit, and he wasn't really getting on the ball as much in that first 15 of the second half. We weren't, like I say, winning as many of the second balls. And then all of a sudden, he was able to break into the open and receive the ball, kind of calm it down a little bit. And I remember looking at the clock, it was from 58 onwards, we just kind of slowed it down. Odegaard, everything was going through him. He was controlling the game. And it's the game management that's on display, not only from the team, but Arteta as well. He started making the subs. We eventually got Gyökeres on. Saka came on. Eze came on. And it seems right now everything's kind of like a well-oiled machine. Just kind of keep it running.
Yeah,
keep it moving.
I think, overall that builds the confidence, just one game at a time, one sort of one goal at a time. And I just think because then if you're doing it one at a time, there's no place for arrogance or ego because you're consistently saying, okay, we just need to do this one. And then you play to the whistle, man. That's all you do. I mean, after you listen for the whistle. Now you're playing to the end, and you're just waiting for that end whistle. So I think that Arsenal has been obviously they've learned over time. But the funny thing is that while I'm not saying this is any previous season, Arsenal has been consistently really good in the first half of the last 4 or 5 seasons. So, I mean, this is good. This is the consistency, but it looks like there's a little bit of a different hunger. But the most glaring thing to me is just Arteta's attitude, and the things he's saying are very different than what he was doing before. I think there was a little bit of an arrogance there that there's obviously he's still confident, but there's an arrogance that's been less. But see, and the funny thing is that arrogance that Arteta kind of had in those previous seasons is the thing that is my complaint about players that go to the big clubs, that they expect things to kind of be whatever it is. And so this is me mirroring the same frustration that you had and a manager, where you can see it in players. So, I mean, maybe the Premier League is the place where a lot of those people go, and they're just like, I'm me, so you're supposed to. And the Premier League doesn't care. They'll punch you in your mouth. I mean, it just do what you need to do. So, and you guys really, I mean, you were good for value based on what I'm seeing and the result. But for sure, every game is a game for you, because this next one against Villa, for sure, I think is going to be one where Emery and how he feels about, just in general.
Yeah.
Because the vampire Count Dracula is ready, to do
Good
what
evening.
he needs to do. That's who he is, But here's the thing that he's shown that you all should be well aware of, and I know you are, but for sure well aware of, is that he comes ready to play you every time.
Oh yeah.
Every time he comes ready to play you. And the thing is even though you like the complaints about them not scoring goals or whatever, and look at where they are. He's probably, and I think for Arsenal, I kind of I get to a degree what they felt. He's the most consistent guy you can have if you give him time. Just give him time to balance stuff out, and he'll sort everything out because that's who he is. And he's in a good place that's going to give him that time.
Mm-hmm.
And so, it's about what he does with it. And because they don't have like a ton of extra games, I think they're going to be
Europa League
guys. Well, I mean, but
they're in the Europa League.
But even then, I'm just saying, looking at what it is, they have the time though. Like I think there's the squad is built in a way where, because this is their second year in Europe, right? Consecutively, maybe their third.
I think I'm pretty sure, and in one of them at least.
And the thing about it is, and just kind of talking about Europe, when they first went, I remember when we talked about it, when they first went, they didn't have the depth for it, so they and it completely destroyed their league form.
Yeah.
And as soon as they weren't in Europe anymore, they were the normal team they were. And so I think now that it's been consecutive years, I think they're picking up on that, because like there's not even a benefit of the Europa League versus the Champions League anymore because of the way they space the schedule now. So it doesn't even matter anymore. And so that's why I kind of refer to it as Europe. But I think he's ready to give you a challenge. I think Arsenal will be up for it. I don't know what the result is at all. I'm glad we don't do predictions anymore, because I would be failing every time because I have no idea about scores anymore.
Yeah, this one's gonna be really tough. But I want to go back to what you were saying about, sometimes players are like, "Oh, I'm at Arsenal," or "Oh, I'm at City," I expect this or this or this, or I'm this good, or I'm this or that, And I never really looked at it that way, but there seems like there might be a lot of that in a lot of different places. If you look at Manchester United, absolutely. And remember when we were talking about Ten Hag's woes last season or 2 seasons ago, whenever that was, and I made the comment that if Man United would simply accept, not that the club in the public eye or in the league's eye or in England's eye has slipped below their stature or whatever. That's not what I mean. But what if they've, as a team, slipped below the stature of, we can just play with impunity, whatever style we decide we'd like to play, And if I said, remember when I said, if Ten Hag would just accept that Man U are a counter-attacking team. They are best when they sit and counter. If you're going to build a team around Bruno Fernandes, you're going to be a sit and counter type of team. And on the days that it looked like they kind of embraced that, I thought they were great. And I feel like it's still kind of the same there, And so I don't want to accuse Pep of like needing to maybe take a step back and realize that the team that you have, not the club, not the we're treble winners, 4 Peats and all this, not that, but the literal actual team that you have. It's my whole thing with Chelsea. Like, the team that went to the Club World Cup did not win the Champions League. You know what I'm saying? Those were 2 completely different teams. The team that Man City took to the Club World Cup was not the team that won the Champions League. You know what I mean? And so maybe Arsenal had to accept that, we weren't that guy.
But it's hard because I think people like to, I think it's the pick me thing of like, they pick me, so I'm this guy. I'm going to give you an example because you said United, and United is the first team I think of, because I remember I said Pogba. But I'm going to give you another United guy that kind of who walked around with that attitude. And it's, if you just envision somebody who has that attitude, you'll know exactly who I'm talking about. When Anthony went to United, he was the embodiment of what I'm talking about, because he was never good when he walked on the field. He was out of place. Hoyland never actually fell into it. But look at those guys. The second they were humbled at that place, went somewhere else, and they had to play ball, and it wasn't about The uniform is about I need to be the best player possible. All of a sudden, they were good players again.
Yeah.
I'm just we got there's.
How many examples of that do you want from United?
Well, that's why I said Pogba first, because Pogba was it. But then I'm going to bring up one of the greats. Cristiano Ronaldo went there, and look what happened. Somehow the club was and he was nothing, and then he left, and then he played in a different way. And I'm like, it's the club, man, and the club, the people on those boards. Yes, I know this is what makes them money, so I'm not going to pretend like I don't understand the reason for it. It's what makes you money, but you still got to do the work. And the thing about it is that if I'm being honest, you don't really run into that in other countries, with the exception Madrid is Madrid, Barcelona is Barcelona. But like Juve doesn't have that aura. Inter doesn't have that aura.
Not no more.
Milan doesn't have it, right? Napoli doesn't have it. Even Bayern Munich doesn't have it, because Bayern makes you earn your spots.
Yeah.
And you can tell, like any guy who's ever gone there, they literally have to earn it. And Bayern has been humbled, because when they didn't win the league 2 seasons ago, that was a wake-up call like no wake-up call, because not only did they not win, the team that won ran the table.
Yeah.
And so that's the humbling. And then Bayern jumped right back on where they were supposed to be, and they got squad depth, and they're doing everything, and they're getting rid of guys.
I mean, look at the video that's been going around of Vinny in practice. Have you seen that? It's been going around the socials of Vinny getting absolutely
with them. He's in there.
I don't know whose face he was getting in, but he's like, "Yo, stop whining. We got to play. We got to get this standard needs to be high." Like, he knows.
You got to earn that, man.
He's on it.
Yeah, because the thing about it is, a lot of times we look at these guys who top tier guys, and it looks so effortless to them. For example, I think about Ramos. Ramos looked effortless, but that guy was a dog. I mean, he was dirty, and he was he's a card magnet, but he was a dog. And then, because then we think about like Kroos, we think about Modric, we think about Busquets. Like, name any of the guys, it looked easy for them, but that because they were putting in the work. Mm-hmm. These guys ain't even putting in the work, man.
Yeah,
they knew that aura wasn't enough,
because everybody had aura in those days.
And so if the game is tight, then because think about it, the aura the Barcelona teams that beat United teams, those United teams had aura, oozing aura, and it did
Ronaldo, Rooney, bro,
and it didn't matter.
Yeah,
you got to go win them games, man. I saw a comment somewhere, and they were talking about like the United teams, and they said, you know what, and I don't agree. Like in general, but I get the point. It's like, you know what? In the Champions League, Alex Ferguson underperformed. And I was like, you know what? It's kind of true.
If you think about it.
The teams he had, and he only won 2.
I mean, how did the Invincibles not win how did that team not win a Champions League?
And so
I'll say there was, if VAR is around. But yeah, we won't go there. Go on.
but and that I just want to humanize guys to understand that I still think of Alex Ferguson as one of the greatest guys to ever manage the game. No question. Pep is one of the greatest to ever to manage the game. But there has to be the humanization to be like, hey man, respectfully, what you're doing is not at the level of what you used to do. Is it better than others? Periodically.
It just seems like it's not even that much to me. It seems like it's an easier problem of the guys you have cannot necessarily do what it is you're trying to do. It's like when you look at Barcelona, that's why when everyone was freaking out about Chelsea beating Barcelona 3-0, I was less than impressed. Look at Barcelona's suicidal high line. And then you're playing with Araujo. No wonder Araujo got sent off. He can't play that high line. You got to have 4 Mickey van der Vens to play a high line that high. And even when you had him in the squad, Ange couldn't make it work either. That is suicidal. Why? Why would you do that when you have such incredible potency going forward, like Barcelona? It blows my mind. Like Hansi Flick is a respected manager, right?
Yep.
What is this? So it's kind of like, shouldn't Pep be able to recognize?
But this is where, again, me giving Arteta a lot of credit. You don't see him doing those things. He doesn't seem to be doing, because he's watching everybody else flail.
Well, we're sticking to what we've been doing, and we're just consistently getting better at what we do.
But then it's the other thing that the guys know. Hey, this is what I'm supposed to do. I'm not going to do extra stuff, and we're not going to be dependent on one guy to do a thing. Because remember, like there was literally a chain of the dependency. It was a dependency on Saka, and that caused you issues. Then there was a dependency on Odegaard, and that caused you issues. And then there was a dependency on you need your center halves to do everything. And so you're running through all the gauntlets of you're missing people, and while you're not like peak, you're still getting the results. In the past, you might not have been getting the results. And so you have to give credit.
We didn't win that game last year.
You have to give credit to the manager, because that's a manager thing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's why I mentioned the thing about Pep, because again, Pep is still one of the greats. I don't think there's one greatest manager ever, and so I'm giving Arteta lots of credit for what the guys are doing, because whatever he's doing, it's here. They're buying in here. And because and some of the goofy parlor tricks, like where he had a guy pickpocket. What are we doing, man? What does that have to do with football? Do football stuff.
Yeah.
So and I think he's been doing football stuff. And so credit to
that one was
Arsenal and it's stupid.
He hasn't done any of that though in a couple of years. That one was like 3 years ago or something.
No, it's 2 years ago.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
But I understand you're trying to find an edge. Sometimes the edge is, hey man, do your damn job.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think the biggest thing that I'm most happy about, as far as the mentality of Arsenal at the moment, is like I say, it's that consistency. It's when you can say, all right, boys, rinse and repeat. Just bring me the same, more of the same. Like when City would, like y'all are just at the second half of the season, it's like habitual to put 13, 14 wins together, and it's just like rinse and repeat. More of the same. Who's in front of us today? It doesn't matter. All right, let's do what we do. Let's put them away. All right, we got Wolves today. Yep, their shit doesn't matter. We have to beat what's in front of us. Oh, we got Liverpool today. All right, we got to step up, and you know what I mean? It doesn't matter.
But see, that's the point I'm talking about. There were years of people doing that, and they think that's what's supposed to happen. That's nothing.
It's not a given.
Happens where you just walk on the field.
It's not a given at all.
It doesn't exist anymore.
Definitely not in this league. Definitely not in this league. Because if you think about it, apart from Wolves, dude, Forest won today. Leeds won today. And while Burnley are really bad going forward, they're halfway decent defensively. Everton won. It's what I mean? Like West Ham aren't as horrible as they've been it's not going to be that third relegation spot, man, is wide open, so everyone from pretty much from 18th to first is going to have to be on it. Or
even 19th, because Burnley is on 10, West Ham is on 11, Leeds is on 14. So literally 19. The only ones who are like, and we just go ahead and give them what they are. Wolves are on 2 points.
Oh, they've never. It's already past history. It's already past, never been done. Yeah.
I mean, just to kind of say it. I mean, are we going ahead and relegating them now?
No, that's what I'm saying. No, I'm telling you, it's already past the point of no team in history has ever come back from this. Yeah.
0 wins, 2 draws, 12.
It's not obviously mathematical yet, but no team in history has come back from this kind of start.
How do you only got 2 points?
Did you hear what Rob Edwards said after their first game? That was his second game today. After his first game, he said, "Look, I don't have a magic wand. I can't just wave my wand and win the game. They were better marginally, but it's like, yeah, they're not great. But everyone else, man, everyone else is really tough to beat. Ellen Road, man. Chelsea's a perfect example of what we're talking about. Perfect example of what we're talking about. I even put up a thing. We can segue to their little thing here. Chelsea is a perfect example of this because they got up for it, man. I'll give them the credit for Sunday. Yeah, I was really rattled by a lot of the fans online, a lot of the stuff that I've, heard in the week because I listened to way too much content, and so I let it get all under my skin. And I was super rattled and super energy is up for the game. But credit to Chelsea, credit to Reece James. They absolutely were up for that game. Yes, I think they went over the top and did way too much, in my opinion, as far as the aggression is concerned. But that being said, I thought that as far as they didn't let us play our game literally at all, absolutely did not. But how are you going to put that performance in? And then it's not even about the fact I get it. No Caicedo, no James today. I get it. And I watched the game. There's no excuse to be that bad just because you don't have Caicedo and James. Andre Santos is not horrible. He was actually playing some decent stuff today, but he was getting left alone, man. Enzo Fernandez is who I'm looking at. That's what I'm looking at. And I don't know if it's maybe a little bit of what we're talking about, a little bit of, I'm big Chelsea, I'm at Chelsea or whatever,
This is from the World Cup.
He hasn't stepped up this season, man.
If Caicedo ain't in there,
it's peak, as they say over in England, man. It's even Cole Palmer came in today and got some minutes under his legs, but obviously you're not going to say anything about getting onto him because he's been gone for 2 months or whatever in his first game back or whatever.
He has zero
fitness. But I mean, that was a horrendous performance. João Pedro's leapt off a cliff. It's just the reason I segued to Chelsea is because it's the up and down. It seems like they just didn't take leads seriously. We're big Chelsea. We deserve to win. And that's common. You can ask their fans. That's what they do. That's so common that Xavier will tell you. I'll read you the texts. He wasn't even – Patrick and I got into it a little bit, right? Because maybe I had a little bit too much aggression, and that's on me. But Xavier, I was texting him at the same time. Nothing. I said he had none of the same energy. I said, wow, y'all are bad without Caicedo and James. Horrendous. He goes, ha, 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 ha. I could have told you that. And I said, yeah, it's not great. He said, well, Leeds are poor, so we weren't showing up for this game anyway. They know it. It's already like a thing.
But and that goes to the point I was making before. I don't get it, man. I do not get
it. Why do Chelsea think that Chelsea of all? Maybe it is the Club World Cup thing.
Well, I was just gonna say, hold on. Now I'm gonna say this for this. Here's why, because Chelsea is one of those clubs. They're a History FC club, very much so. Because when they won the Club World Cup, what was the first thing that came out? We're the only team that has won everything. First of all, you shouldn't be in every competition.
Right.
If we're just being honest, we
shouldn't
be in every competition. But okay, that's the badge you're wearing. You're the best of every level. So when you're mediocre, you're the best mediocre. What? What are you talking about? And so, yeah, sure. Okay, they're tournament winners. But then, I'm going to give Pep Guardiola a comment. This is before City won the Champions League. It's like, hey, man, the Champions League and these tournaments are luck. You got to win 7 games. Right. You don't even have to be in form. You just got to win 7 games. And Chelsea is literally the epitome of that. Because, I mean, if we're being honest, the first Champions League one they won against Bayern, come on, man. I mean, we're being honest. I'm not taking it from them, but
5th place, sacked the manager.
They had no business winning that one. And I mean, hey, but they won, so I'm not taking it from them. And when they beat City in the Champions League, come on now.
I'm not trying to dunk too much on Chelsea. Maybe I am because I don't like them very much.
No, but this when they're
I'm just
fans,
saying it's less impressive. It's less impressive. Your Champions League is more impressive to me than both of theirs because you won. You were the English champion when you won the Champions League. I'm not saying that it's not impressive. Winning a Champions League is awesome, regardless,
yes,
and I would bite your hand off to have one. Absolutely,
right.
don't let. I'm not trying to be any kind of disingenuous about it. Having 2 Champions Leagues, that's absolutely epic, of course. But to win the treble, to win the title, to be the best team in your country and the best team in Europe is just a bit more impressive.
Right. Hey, we got a comment, man. I don't know who AFC Max is.
It just popped up. Let's see. Hey,
what up,
fellas.
AFC Max? I don't know who
that is. AFC Max, what's up, man? What's up?
Does that? I mean, I'm gonna say the most obvious. So I'm guessing he's an Arsenal fan, right?
Yeah. I'm gonna get probably with that one. Yeah.
I'm gonna start telling City fans to come on over here too, man.
Yeah, man, absolutely.
I mean, even though I am critical of City in a lot of things, so I don't know if they're gonna be like, I'm a true City fan.
No, of course you are. Of course you are, man.
Hey, man, you know they call us plastic sometimes, so it's all good.
Nah, you're the most reserved City fan I know, dude. Of course, you're not. You're not. You could be on here and be insufferable. If I had your recent history, you know, I would be insufferable.
It's funny because I and you know what? And the thing about it is that what does it say? Block. Okay, cool.
Arsenal fan from Australia. Hey, thanks for tuning in, man.
No, it's tomorrow. So this is like
tomorrow.
So this is like breakfast for him.
It's like a morning show. Hey, man. Yeah. Good morning to you. Yeah, nice.
Well, we hope that this goes well with your coffee, or I don't really know what.
I'm sure the Arsenal. He might have been up for the Arsenal win to watch the Arsenal game. Got up early because it was probably wee hours of the morning. So it's a happy morning so far. I would imagine.
You go off to work, but yeah, man. I respect Chelsea. You know what they've accomplished as a club because they did a lot in a small span of time, and then they've kind of maintained that. But then there's this thing about because their owner has money and they're willing to do anything and they're cutthroat or whatever, that it is what it is. But hey, man, they got that attitude too.
It's already the afternoon. We're way behind. It's even farther. It's in the afternoon.
Well, nice. So we're at a lunchtime pod. So what we need to do, hey, AFC Max, tell your lunchtime people, jump on here, watch the lunchtime thing, drink, eat their whatever they eat for lunch, because I don't know what the Australian food is. Bring your koala. Are koalas in Australia? Get your pet koala, and, tell the dangerous animal outside, wait a minute.
Yeah.
I gotta watch the show for a little bit.
The giant snakes and stuff. We gotta, No, man. That's awesome, though. Thanks for tuning in, man, of course.
For sure.
But it's interesting that it's like I was saying, the team that went to the Club World Cup was not the team that won the Champions League, right? But also, it seems weird to me that any team, especially all the young kids at Chelsea, would have this kind of we deserve to win anything mentality
because of where they are. But the funny thing is, because we watched the Club World Cup firsthand, we watched the Chelsea team. They weren't great or anything like that. And we literally said this, and this is the Pep thing. Yes, they do. We got to get them on there, man.
Bring them all on.
Tell them to push the like and subscribe button and get the notifications. I'm just saying what Jake always says. But the thing about it is we watched that, and when we watched that game, we said if they win this game, they have the easiest run to the finals because tournaments are set up like that. So it wasn't like they beat juggernauts and they beat the world.
That Benfica team was not very good that day that we were there.
And so you beat who's in front of you. No one's taking that from you. You beat who's in front of you. That's what you're supposed to do. And then they won. And then PSG, is that who they beat in the final? That's who they beat, right? PSG was garbage. PSG was absolutely garbage then. And then we took their keeper. I'm just saying that's what we did. They were garbage and we took their keeper. And PSG has been like whatever. But I'm gonna give you credit for it, give them credit for it. But again, it was a thing, and credit for winning. But at the same time, let's make sure we stop confusing consistency as an organization for consistency on the pitch. I think that's a very, very different thing. And it's in the summer. They dogged it during the regular season, and then they said, "Okay, we'll play now."
It's interesting that this kind of idea is manifesting during this pod here because it's like it's something that's been bugging me. The club has its own history, of course, but the team and the group that you have at this moment also has a separate kind of history together, right?
Yep.
And the way that Arsenal's team has been together, this particular
Yeah.
group have been together for so long now, and everyone knows each other, and we've just been slowly adding pieces. That's why,
Yep.
yes, we were all frustrated when in the Calafiori Marino window, and that was all, and Sterling, of course, Raheem. Dude, speaking of Raheem Sterling, he's still getting a wage at like a massive wage at Chelsea. He's
Where's he
still
playing?
Chelsea. He's
Does
on 350 bags playing for the reserves, man.
For real?
For real. Yep.
I didn't even. I didn't know where he was playing football at. To be honest.
Hey, don't hate to be that guy. I'm with you, man. Let's go crazy. Let's do it. Let's do it. I'm sure it will come up because in a couple of weeks we have a Carabao Cup quarterfinal with Crystal Palace. But Nez is a huge proponent of winning the Carabao Cup, especially. Hey, this is perfect this is a perfect thing to say, FC Max, for what we're saying, because this group, Arsenal's current group, desperately needs to lift the trophy together. Saka is the only one that was there for the FA Cup. And so if this group, as we've always said, lifts the Mickey Mouse trophy, even though it's the $100,000 prize pool to win, if we win that one, man, like I said a couple of weeks back, it would be crazy to win all four, yes, but we are favorites for all four.
Yeah, for sure. I will absolutely give you that. And I mean, again, it'll be. I mean, if they're gonna shoot for history, I mean, what better history? So you're the only team to win, to go undefeated, invincible. I mean, shoot for something else. Now, the thing about it is that even though you want it, you gotta, again, one game at a time. There's no way you do anything different than that. And so, but this is why I'm standing on. If you win the first one, it starts to do the thing.
Sure. Yeah, man.
Hey, man, do the thing. Now, I'm not an Arsenal fan. I'm a pragmatic football fan. So let's just make sure I'm not rooting for anything like that. But I see what I see. I'm not blind. And so I just think it's important. And I mean, because I know early on you weren't really on it, but then you started to hear where I was coming from. It really matters to win that first one.
Yeah, I hear it. I'm just, I've always been of the opinion that it's, I'm a product of Arsene Wenger, and Arsene Wenger never ever took that trophy seriously,
To do something you've never done before, you must. And until you do.
Fair enough. Do something you never done takes stuff you haven't done before, I get it, man. And I would love to see it. And I mean, we still got to go through you for that one. So
for what?
The Carabao. You're in Carabao Cup still.
Hey, man. Did you not just hear me talk about my team? I know you heard me talk about my team.
You won that trophy, though. Y'all won that like 5 years in a row.
And what I did say, this is not 5 years ago. I don't live in that. I don't live in any of that history, anything.
Yeah, fair enough.
Because last year I was the most somber, realistic. Hey, man, what are we doing? No, I won't. There's no way. Zero.
Yeah. Yes.
Well, now, so just so AFC Max knows this, I'm going to tell you how sure it's never going to happen. When I lived in Charlotte, North Carolina, there was no Man City supporters club, so I went to Big Ben Pub, and that was an Arsenal supporter bar, and I was there every single weekend, and I was cool with the owner and the manager. And I would always respect the Arsenal fans, but if City was ever on, I was in there every week with blue on. I was the Homer Simpson in the room with the thing, and I was like, "Hey, man, can you put it on City right here?" Nobody cared because they knew I'm, and that's what City wasn't City then. They were good, but they weren't City then. And I was there every week. But I didn't hate on Arsenal. never ever hate. I don't hate on teams because if I have to think about you, then you're in my mind space and whatever. I was consistent with it. I watched Arsenal be good. I watched you guys win the FA Cup a couple of times. I went for every game. There was a good crowd, but then I started meeting when I left there. I started meeting crazy Arsenal fans, and I'm like, who are these people? And at that point, I'm like, and I mean, because the funny thing is, I think I met you. I met you after that. And I was like, okay, Jake, is it? Because then for some reason, like the crazy Arsenal fans were just coming from everywhere, man. And I'm like, what is this?
You give us an inch, we'll take a mile.
But Wenger was there. And now here's the thing. I've always respected Wenger because Wenger played football not the same as Pep, but he played and I like that kind of football because it requires you to be technically good, right? The athleticism doesn't matter. And I've always liked Henry. I thought he was like a really good player. Like I was young and I got to see Henry play in the MLS and I was absolutely enamored. I'm like, this guy is amazing. So there's enough of those guys, but there's zero
New York Red Bulls.
There's zero chance that I become an Arsenal fan. Zero. Zeros. And here's the thing. I went to the MLS All-Star game with Jake just because I wanted to see a Premier League team. You want me to answer it again? I can answer it again.
Hey, AFC Max, just rewind it. Watch it from the beginning.
I promise you, I laid into him. I'll tell you what happened.
He'll let you know, yeah.
Because I promise you, I don't brag.
Just catch the playback and he'll let you know.
For sure. You will see yeah. But even though I will say this, it's still 3 points. So even if hey man, it could be the championship game and I could give up 4 goals. If I win 5-4, guess what I did?
You won.
That's all that matters.
That's all.
Ugly is ugly.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I think I like the Arsenal fans that I've met. I have Liverpool fan friends and United fan friends, and they're all good. But the internet ones, they're awful people.
Yeah, that's the one. That's the thing. Like all of the people who I've actually met and had conversations with,
good people
are good. Normally, good people, good fans, love their team, are able to have logical conversation. It's the internet. It's when I dive into X or Instagram. It's when I let myself get rattled by other content creators and I get caught up in the YouTube comment section. That's why Arsenal have some of the most annoying fans, and I get it because I see it in the comment sections because I'm there.
and the funny thing is that and Jake, I'm not like this, but there's a real easy answer as I look at it. Because again, I'm not here to rapid fire on people, but I have a real easy answer for the game 5-1 to 5-4 because I can bring up some bad memories on the Arsenal side. I know that
Please don't.
Nobody wants me to do that.
There's no reason for that.
But I won't because that's not who I am. But if this was the internet, I would. The internet, I absolutely would have went for the jugular on that one. I'm like, oh, okay, so you gonna say something about coming back, huh? Want to talk about a comeback?
No, we don't. We really don't.
That's where I can shoot at that, but I don't because here, Jake's my guy.
Yeah, and I can't wait to put all that crap to bed here soon. I'm
being honest. As long as we're not in the tournament with you, I hope you do well. That's how I'll say.
Fair enough. Hey, aren't you in all the tournaments we're in?
Yes. Well, until we're out of them. Until we're out of them.
Yeah.
Right? So,
hey, I love this one too.
Yeah.
See, that's what I'm talking. That's what I'm talking about. AFC Max. The internet got me going, got me wound up, and and this is the kind of stuff that got me all wound up. You know what I'm saying? And
rightfully so. Rightfully so. And the funny thing is, and again, we know good Chelsea fans too. Like I have a couple of friends, but Patrick and Xavier are really, really good guys, and they're mostly rational Chelsea fans, right? I mean, obviously, X has said some things that you're like, dude, do you hear what you're saying? but
hey, overall, Graham Potter just did him dirty. Graham Potter just did X so dirty.
He did, and he didn't love Todd Bowley either. So X was just going through some things, but overall, we know rational-minded Chelsea.
X is doing great, man. He's had a kid. little Sprout's doing good, as they've nicknamed him. I don't know what they call him that, but he's named him Roman. Is Xavier's son?
That sounds correct.
Yeah, absolutely,
absolutely
spot on. Figured that was going to happen, and so he's doing good now. He's much happier with things these days, I would say.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and so you look at that.
In spite of the loss today, he was pretty jovial about it.
Yeah, because I mean, at the end of the day, it's not everything, and
yeah.
But I mean, I think Chelsea is an interesting conundrum, because I have friends who were ready to just abandon Chelsea, and I understood it because nobody knew what they were doing.
Yeah.
It was, and this sounds crazy coming out. It was almost worse than what United is doing. Almost
for a minute there.
No, almost there, because United is consistently doing it, so it's just in their DNA to be this way.
Well, at least you can see that Chelsea, what they're doing. They're buying players to sell players, and if they find one that's really good along the way, they'll keep him in there.
Yeah, that's why I said almost. United doesn't do that at all.
I bet you're having a field day right now. Yes.
Oh, that's cool, man.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I'd be having a field day. See, that's what I'm saying. See, this is why there's a fear. There's a fear out there.
Yeah.
It's because of people like me.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to be a little bit way too smug if and when we do, get a. But see, when I bring it back down, there was about this quad thing. There was a question about it on Instagram, and I just commented. I said, just bring me the Prem, man. At the end of the day, it's been so long. And somebody said, rightfully so, what about the Champions League? Don't you want the Champions League? Of course I want the Champions League, but what are we here for at the end of the day? What is the team's main goal every single season?
Yeah.
Is to win the Premier League. And I haven't done that in so
I mean,
long.
When we started
just give me the Prem.
When we started this season, I asked you, would you prefer which one would you prefer? And you said the Premier League every time.
Yeah.
And I get it. I get it. Even though if I'm being honest, I think if you ask Arteta, and I actually believe this, it doesn't feel real in my brain, but my brain is saying, I think Arteta would actually prefer to win the Champions League if he could get that over the Prem. And I'm going to tell you why I think this is true. If Arteta wins the Champions League, it's something greater than Arsene Wenger ever did. And I'm saying it sort of because of the stature that trophy holds in the world. And so I think he would take that one before the Prem, which sounds crazy because he's an Arsenal guy, but I think he would take that one first. And I'm being 100% honest. I think if you asked him in his heart of hearts, because he's never won it. Right. He's never won the trophy. So I think because of the personal connection, and he would be the first. We already think. I mean, he's an Arsenal legend, right? We'll give him that. And if he wins the Premier League, yes, obviously, that's going to be there. But if he wins the Champions League, he would have done what his mentor didn't do, what the best teammate on his team never did. He would be the only guy to do it. And I think as a manager, he would take that.
Yeah, I think so. I think if you gave him one of those ultimatums where it was like, yeah, talking about your defense being Swiss cheese. Yeah, I could.
You got to go back and listen. Yeah, I for sure answered all those things.
I can agree with that one as well. But I think if you ask Arteta, if at the end of your Arsenal reign, you can only have one trophy, he's going to say Champions League. I can hear that, for sure. Hold on. But I also think that he believes he's going to win more than that.
Oh, for sure.
And that's why I say, bring me the Prem. If this group wins the Premier League, of course we're going to go on and win a Champions League. Of course, dude. Like, if we win the Prem, I know in my heart we're going to be here as good as we are for the next 2, 3, 4, 5 maybe seasons, maybe, and it took City, 3, 4, 5 attempts at the Champions League, right? This is our third. This season will be our third under Arteta, and we were quarterfinals, then semifinals. There's only one more step, and who's to say, that he won't do them both at the same time?
Yeah. Well, but my thing is that one, we have to really, really, really take this. The Champions League is a lightning in a bottle thing.
Yeah,
we just learned what it was. Like this new format, you just learned what it was, and so we don't know what it is going forward. Because if I'm being honest, realistically, the parity that they've created with the league thing they have now makes it a lot harder to predict than it was in the past. And I think because that means you can get, and it's literally what I just said about Chelsea and the Club World Cup. That means that anybody can win that.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why if you got a chance to, if you said, hey, you only got one chance, because I think you guys have been so consistent in the league. I think you'll be there for years. And I'll put it like this. This is where I'll actually go a step further. And I agree with what you're saying. I think the opposite. I think if you win the Champions League, that does so much for your league stuff that it makes you almost impossible to deal with. Because at that point, if you say we're Champions League winners, everybody in Europe wants to be at there. It's a very different thing for me. And I think it's something else. And the thing is, because like I see what he's talking about, where he's like winning both. I'm just being winning more than one trophy is hard. So we're not going to pretend, because here's the thing about finals, because we know this, right? Finals are like the most unpredictable things ever.
Yeah.
Because, hey man, did you see City getting smacked in the face by Palace? Did you see United beating City? Both of those teams were on downturns to a good team. City won the league, and they looked terrible against United and against Crystal Palace. And these were good teams.
Yeah.
And so a cup final, that's lightning in the bottle, man.
It's a whole nother thing.
That's like, so, I mean, I can, like, and if I'm being honest, I can see you guys winning the league at some point. If it's not this year, which I mean would be kind of shocking if I'm being honest, right? But it's real. But I can see it happening. But if I'm saying, because I've just watched the way you are in the Champions League, it's very similar to what Liverpool and PSG were doing last year. If you can catch lightning for the Champions League, I understand Arsenal fans are like, hey man, we haven't won the league in 20 years. And I'm gonna say you have won the Champions League never. I'm just and here's the thing why I understand that. Remember the first year I was on the pod, City didn't win the Champions League. And then the next year we won everything. But
it's a treble.
Hey, we won the league, and what was I focused on? I was 1,000% focused on, man, we got to get this one. That's all that mattered.
Yeah.
That's all that mattered. Like, dude, the sigh of relief, I remember watching the game, and when that whistle blew, I was like, and I'm telling you, I get, this is why I don't take away the Champions League from X and Patrick on the Chelsea ones, because that's lightning in a bottle, man. And only what, 20 teams have won the thing? I think, is that right? 18 teams have won the Champions League.
Yes, it's not a lot. Yeah.
And to get just one, that sets you forever. Now, and so to his point, like I think it's just because when he came in, yeah, I give you the squad depth. You have excellent squad depth, and I said, other guys are stepping in because like the dependency on Odegaard is not there the way it was. The dependency on Saka is not there the way it was. I'm gonna jokingly say the dependency on Havertz is not there because, bro, you understand what I mean.
We've had a great show. Why you got to do stuff like that?
No, but I'm saying because the thing is, he would always put Havertz in there. He's your hold-up guy. You don't even need that. You don't need that from him anymore. Hot
take. And I know I've said this before. In Arteta's mind, Gyökeres is here to win the Champions League.
Fair enough.
He outscored everyone last season. So that's he brought Gyökeres in to win Champions League.
And that's why I believe that's his goal.
Yeah, I hear it. I definitely hear it.
That's his goal. And you guys look good in the Champions League. Like, I mean, you look good in the league. I mean, obviously, there's been some shaky spots in the Champions League. You guys look tough,
We've
man.
not we've conceded once.
You look tough, man.
We've conceded one goal.
And the way the draw is looking, I don't think you'll get anybody tough until, I mean, as long as you do what you're supposed to do in the Champions League, you shouldn't get a tough matchup again until the semis. Quarters, I'm not look, because nobody is good like that right now.
Yeah, but like you say, it's still, you know, the Champions League. Like Paris wasn't good like that last season, and then they beat every English team to win the league, to win the.
But once they got in that
thing.
knockout phase, that's all they needed. That's all they needed was the knockout.
And this is true as well. When we get everybody back, you know, if we can get over this. Maybe the Nigerian or the Congo coach has got our voodoo dolls or something. You know, if we can get past the Congo coach voodoo with all these injuries, you know, Arteta's gonna have a real headache trying to pick, you know, trying to pick guys.
Well, the other thing that I don't think it'll be a big deal, but it'll come in play is like once we hit January and they bring the awful international break back.
Not to mention AFCON is in January.
Yeah, like when all those things start coming back, that's the real test too.
Yeah.
Because then you're going to have guys who will have attitudes because they want to play in the World Cup. And then you got guys who want to, you know, they want to play for their country. And so now you're just, and I don't knock the desire to, you know, to like do your best for your country and want to earn your spot in your country. But it's going to be something else there, man.
Yeah, I hear it, but you know, that's also conversely having that big squad. It makes everybody play hard in every single game. You know, so when it comes to that Carabao Cup match on December 16th against Crystal Palace, if we rotate a little bit, you know, what if Ethan Nwaneri finally gets that game? He's absolutely chomping at the bit. He asked. They didn't tell him to play in the behind doors closed friendly. He wanted to play in that behind doors closed friendly that we played because he's like, man, I have to play. I need to play. I need to get minutes. I need to get in, you know, get some legs in me.
And this is the window, though. Like, this is the window where, hey, man, you feel a vibe, and it's lightning in the bottle, man. It is.
Yeah, man.
But I understand. I support it, man. As far as what's the man say?
He's saying that, like I was saying earlier, there's like a fear that's kind of slowly creeping in because people are starting to believe that are not just Arsenal fans, you know. But I think that
expectations will kill you, man.
yeah. Like you say, we definitely need to take it one game at a time, you know. And I knew that we couldn't look past Brentford, and I don't think they did. I think they definitely took it seriously. You know, Villa's going to be really, really tough. You know, and I think knowing, and especially in this same vein that we're talking with, and knowing Arteta, even next Wednesday against Brugge, next Tuesday against Club Brugge, even if he plays like our second team or whatever. You know, he's going to expect a high level performance from them. It's not going to be like, oh, we're going to give up 5 goals to Brugge because they score a lot of goals. They're a very open team. They like to play basketball, so maybe they'll score some goals on us. That's not going to be acceptable, even if it's the second stringers. And to my point, those guys also were going to be like, you know, hey, if I show up and take Martinelli, for example, he scored in every Champions League game he played in. And so when he's healthy, he gets the start in the Premier League because he performed in the games that he did get the chance in because Trossard has been performing in the league and keeping him out of the team.
Yep.
But when Trossard goes down and that spot's up, because he was playing good in the Champions League, he's got, you know, and so maybe if Nwaneri has a crazy game versus Palace in that Carabao Cup match, who's to say he doesn't start versus Brighton or whoever it is, whoever the next game is, you know,
for sure, yeah.
Which is, you know, having that big squad means that in every game, each guy is going to be trying to compete for his spot, trying to put it in there, and you love to see it.
I agree.
Absolutely love to see that.
I agree.
and hopefully it leads to some silverware. But right now we're focusing on Villa, and like you say, that's gonna be really really tough. Old Mr. Good Evening Unai Emery is gonna have one for us. They've been playing really well, and the festive fixtures, the festive period is here. It's coming fast and furious. I think we've got like another 7 games before the end of the year. It's crazy, So we're going to be here for all of it. I'm absolutely excited about it for sure. Oh yeah, I can see it. I can see us 3 or 4-0 in Brugge, especially since they're.
He thinks 3-0 against
3-0
Villa.
against Villa.
I don't know about that one, man.
That would be glorious. That would be beautiful. That would be absolutely beautiful. The 4-0 against Brugge is more believable. 3-0 against Villa would be incredible.
At Villa Park.
Have we won at Villa Park by 3 goals in any recent memory?
Hey man,
have we beaten Villa recently?
Hey man, I guess ride on the juice, man.
Wasn't Villa who beat us at home 2-0? Ollie Watkins double the year that we took you to the final day. Yeah, it was. It absolutely was. That was our only loss in the second half of the season. We owe them one. Yeah, you know what? 3-0 Arsenal. We owe them one. Let's put it on them. We owe them for that. I would absolutely love to see it.
Let the delusion get you.
Yeah, I saw the 4-3 against Brighton today. Crazy game.
Yeah, and the crazy thing is, while I hear that, the thing about it is if the Chelsea game didn't tell you anything, we can't keep basing what we think a team on their last fixture.
Well, the thing about Brighton is, to a fault, they will play out from the back. No matter what, they will play out from the back, and they're going to press you while you try to play out from the back. Like, to a fault, Brighton play basketball, and so no wonder a lot of their games are cricket scores.
And that's what you get. And so Villa said, we can play with you on that.
Yep. That will not be Arteta ain't like that. He doesn't want to do that at all. So it'll be different. I expect him to try to keep it tight and keep them in front of us, and it'll be maybe a 1-0, 2-0 victory for us. Hopefully, that's what I'm hoping. I would love just some real easy 1-0s for the rest of the season.
Amen.
Of course I remember that. How can we forget? How can we forget the 4-2? I'll take one of those. I'll take a 4-2 crazy game. I'll take that, no problem.
Are you guys the lunchtime kickoff?
We are the early kickoff on Saturday. Yeah. Yep, 7:30 a.m. here on the East Coast.
To set the day, huh?
Yep, absolutely. Hey, I don't mind playing the lunchtime kickoff. We get all of get our game out of the way first, get our 3 points, and everyone else has to worry about it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Well, we'll see what it is. I think it'll be an exciting game.
Yeah,
and they just go from there. But Villa's playing for something, man. Like that's why I don't think that's a walk, man. Because if Villa win, they are on 30 points.
Always want the clean sheets. Absolutely always want clean sheets, of course. But yeah, I think we're going to wrap it right there up in those nice clean sheets. So, of course, thanks for being here. Hit the like button if you're still around. Subscribe if you are new. Hype it up and let us know what you think down in the comments below. We will, of course, be back next week after it'll be 2 more games we'll have to review, because the Champions League will be done by the time we're back on Wednesday. There'll be reviews of the Arsenal games from myself as well. It's going to be 11:30 at night in Australia for the Villa game. Man, we are almost the opposites.
Then you
almost the opposites. AFC Max.
For those things,
Hey, we appreciate you being here, man, as well, and interacting in all the comments.
Stay away from the deadly koalas and kangaroos, man.
Yeah. Look out for all those the giant
but
reptiles.
Tell your friends and the kangaroos and the koalas to watch this show.
Absolutely. So like I said, we certainly appreciate you being here, and we'll be back before you know it, and you will. See us next time.